The strategy of escalating tensions to later de-escalate is an old tactic originally used by the Soviet Union. The idea is to raise the stakes significantly and wait for the opposing side to back down. Both Russia and Ukraine seem to be employing this approach currently. The U.S. has closed its embassy in Kyiv, anticipating a major Russian airstrike on the city. A recent attack was repelled by Ukrainian air defenses, but the U.S. is advising caution and alerting citizens to be prepared for air raid warnings. The current escalation is partly due to U.S. President Joe Biden's administration. In a bold move during this lame duck phase, Biden allowed Ukraine to use American-made missiles against Russia. Following this, Ukrainian President Zelensky acted quickly, launching 6 long-range missiles at a military target in Bryansk, Russia. Although Russia claims to have intercepted 5 of the missiles, some debris did fall near the site without causing damage or casualties. Zelensky hinted at Ukraine's capabilities, mentioning various long-range weapons they possess. In response, Vladimir Putin has updated Russia's nuclear doctrine, lowering the threshold for nuclear weapon use to include responses to conventional attacks, not just nuclear ones. This change has drawn criticism from the West, which views it as irresponsible rhetoric that won't deter support for Ukraine. The principle that nuclear war cannot be won remains, but Russia has consistently used nuclear threats to intimidate Ukraine and other nations since the war began. While tactical nuclear weapons could still be a concern, their use would depend on Ukraine's actions. Biden is also supplying landmines to Ukraine's military to slow down Russian advances, despite concerns about civilian casualties. This decision indicates the urgency felt by the U.S. as the conflict approaches its 3-year mark, with events commemorating this milestone held in Kyiv, Tel Aviv, and Europe. Looking ahead, signs suggest further escalation. Reports indicate that North Korean troops might be sent to support Russia, which would significantly impact the conflict. Meanwhile, global interest seems to be waning, as evidenced by the recent G20 summit where discussions on Ukraine were cut short and the final declaration lacked strong condemnation of Russia. Both sides are eager to gain an advantage before the potential shift in U.S. leadership with Donald Trump. While Russia has expressed willingness for a ceasefire, it has strict conditions, including retaining seized territory and preventing Ukraine's NATO membership. The coming weeks are expected to be tense, with 2 key areas to monitor: European support for Ukraine and Zelensky's strategies in light of Trump's preferences for negotiations. Both sides are aware that 2025 could be a pivotal year for the war, prompting likely escalations in the interim.